let's make a Nintendo 64 game. And in this video, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be, what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate and show to you how you can set up your environment or set up your computer so that all your projects or your little video game projects can be ported to the Nintendo 64 gaming console system. Okay, so we'll go ahead and demonstrate that. But before we do anything in relation to that, I'm going to give you a little demonstration of how I use AI. Okay, so here we have Google Drive. What you can do is, if you use ChatGPT or Grok or Find or Google Gemini, you can create a document on Google Drive or a document on the internet, and you go to File, find some way to publish it to the web. In this situation, for me, since I'm using Google Drive or Google Documents, I would go to File, Share, Publish to Web. You need to publish it to web. And that link right there, what you could do, you could copy that link, check this little box down here so that whatever you add to this document will be updated, and you can save this link inside that document. Because we take this link and say you highlight this link right here, you copy it, and you stick it into Grok, or you stick it into ChatGPT, or you stick it into Find. Grok is going to scan this link, and when it scans this link, it scans all this text, all this information inside this document. Okay, now this document right here consists of all the commands that I've ever used to build up my environment so that I can build those Z64 files or build the files to run so that they can run on the Nintendo 64 emulator or the Nintendo 64 gaming console system. Okay, and not only that, but I also have some conversation from my Google Gemini. So for example, I can just like copy this text and I can paste it all here, and what I'll do is I'll scale it down to 1, because I'm not going to be reading all this information, but you can use this information in this text so that it can be documented. And when Grok scans this document, it's going to know everything that you needed to do or everything that you went through in order to build up your environment. It's going to scan and it's going to know what worked, what didn't work, so that if you ever need to do it again and you go to Grok or you go to ChatGPT for a little bit of help, it's going to know what to do. Okay, so in situations like this, especially when you go in a terminal command, you can copy and paste the terminal commands or the terminal output inside this document, highlight it, and you could scale it down to 1. Okay, so if it's 12, it comes back as a regular size text. You scale it down to 1, and Grok and ChatGPT is still going to be able to scan and read this text. And when it scans and reads all this text in this document right here, as long as it's published to the web, it's going to be able to scan this document, and it's going to have all the answers and all the information to what you need to do to combat and counter errors inside your terminals. Okay, you're definitely going to come across errors in your terminal when we build this environment up on the Linux. Okay, so this is how you're going to need to use AI. I'm going to provide this document that you need, and I'm going to upload it to the internet so that you can download it. And so that you could use it for your own trial and error as well. Okay, you're definitely going to need these commands. You're definitely going to need to use a little bit of AI, because sometimes these commands might not work, because these commands consist of my computer name and it doesn't consist of your computer name. So when you highlight these commands and you stick it inside your computer, it's not going to work. So what you'll need to do is copy and paste it and stick it inside Grok or ChatGPT and have it convert that text to the text that's compatible with your computer. Okay, so make sure that you get a document set up if you do have Google Drive. Even if you don't have Google Drive, maybe you want to start up an account with Grok, start up an account with ChatGPT, or start up an account with Find, and go ahead and copy and paste all the text inside of these documents and paste it inside the conversation and paste it inside your AI of choice, so that it will know and have all the information to what you need to do to build these environments up and to build these examples. Okay, so definitely get this set up, give it a try, and that's pretty much it for AI. So now, let's see what else we need to cover in the notes. Okay, so I gave a demonstration of AI. If you're a Windows user, like me, you're definitely gonna need access to a Linux-based environment. In situations like this, I use Oracle VirtualBox. This is where you could go to get it. In this tutorial, I'm not going to do a demonstration on how to download it or how to install it, how to set it up. This tutorial is going to focus strictly on using the terminal and building the environment via terminal commands to make sure to see that your environment is capable of generating the files needed to run on the Nintendo 64 or the N64 emulator. Okay, in a situation like this, we're going to need Oracle Box if you're a Windows user, so that you can install a Linux-based environment on that Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, so definitely do a little YouTube search on this, get it installed, and definitely install a Linux-based environment on your VirtualBox, because you're going to need that. Now, here is a link to the options that you're going to have, so that of what you'll be able to install on your Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, Debian I think is Linux based. I haven't tried Manjaro. I definitely know Ubuntu is. Linux Mint is what I'm going to be using. It's pretty good. It definitely gets the job done. So definitely check these out. Windows is not the only operating system out there. For all you Mac users, Xubuntu. I've heard of Xubuntu. You want to give that a try. For Mac users, I've heard of Parallels. I used this years ago, back when I was in Dominican Republic. This was for the Macintosh. Okay, so you could probably use this. I don't know if this will work or not, but this is also an alternative that enables you to install more than one operating system on your computer, so you definitely want to check that out as well. In regards to the emulator, this is what works. Okay, I've tried other emulators like 1964 N64 emulator. I've tried Project 64 emulator. It does not run the file. Those do not run the files that we're going to be creating with Tiny3D and LibDragon. Okay, this is what works. So this is what you need to use. You need to download this, install it wherever you want. I suggest you install it somewhere like not in your C drive, because if you close it and you reopen it up, you're going to have to reset your input. So download it, install it where you want, but install it somewhere like maybe on a desktop or in a folder with the rest of your N64 project files. Okay, so this is a 64 drive. I don't have a Nintendo 64 in my house. I just have the emulator. But this is something that you can definitely use if you have a Nintendo 64 in your house. This is a cartridge that you could use to port all your projects to the cartridge so that it can run on the actual Nintendo 64 hardware. Okay, and this is something similar to it. You've got Summer Kart 64 right here, and that's also something that works. and you have EverDrive as well. Okay, so these three things right here, if you're really going to be serious about making a little bit of homebrew, making Nintendo 64 games, you definitely want to consider this hardware and technology right here. Okay, for Windows, you need to download MSys2. If you're on Windows 10 or Windows 11, you need to download MSys. It needs to be the latest version. For me, since I'm on Windows 8, I'm using a later version or antiquated version, I guess is what you want to call it. And this is what we're going to be using to build our LibDragon on the Windows side. Okay, for Tiny 3D, you need a Linux-based environment. Okay, but for LibDragon, you can build on a Windows environment. Now, for Windows 10 and Windows 11 users, if you don't want to use VirtualBox on Windows 10 or Windows 11, you definitely consider using Windows Subsystem for Linux. Do a Google search on that. In this tutorial, I'm not going to show you how to install it or use it. Do a YouTube search on how to get it installed on your Windows, and this is what you can also use. If you're on Windows 10 or 11, you don't want to take the VirtualBox route, you might want to consider using Windows Subsystem for Linux, which is WSL for short. Okay, so try this out. Go into the Windows Store, go on YouTube, look it up, become familiar with it, get that baby installed so that we can start building our environments so that we can crank out Nintendo 64 projects. Okay, so I already have a lot of this stuff set up, and I'm going to include all the links in the window below, beneath the video. Okay, so the links are going to be beneath the video. All you'll have to do is just click on it. It's going to take you directly to them. You go and download them, download the links, grab up everything that you're going to need. This is not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be a walk in the park setting up your environment. Okay, we're talking about setting up an environment for a gaming console system that was made in 1996-97. Okay, this is hardware we're developing for. Okay, this is hardware that we're creating for. Okay, so it's not going to be easy, but with this tutorial and with AI and with me demonstrating merging all those tools together, AI and the commands and the terminal and stuff like that, we merge all this stuff together. We're going to compile it into a big source of information so that you will know how to set this thing up so that you can get your projects on the Nintendo 64. Okay, it's definitely going to work. I've been through a lot of trial and error, and I've been through everything that we needed to go through in order to get everything to work and get everything figured out. So, okay, so we're definitely going to get our hands dirty, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as I mentioned before, you're definitely going to need VirtualBox. This is VirtualBox. My version is 6.1, and inside my VirtualBox, I have Linux Mint. Okay, and this is my Linux Mint. I'm going to go ahead and log in. And I'm going to go ahead and expand it. We're going to need internet. We're going to need our file browser, and we're most definitely going to need our terminal. Okay, we are definitely not accomplishing anything without a terminal. Okay, so we're going to get all this set up. And I'm going to go into Documents, and we're going to create a new folder. We're going to call it N64Dev. N64_dev. Inside that, we're going to create some more folders. going to call one the Dragon. And another one is going to be called Tiny 3D. And we're going to call this one Toolchain. And this one we will call Z64 Files. Okay, so this is pretty much what we got set up. And we're definitely going to need to go to these websites, and we're going to need to download all the things that we're going to need. So we want to download our toolchain. That's a tiny URL link for it. Okay, and this is 7dog123. This is the MIPS toolchain. And what we want to do, we want to click on code, we want to download zip. As a matter of fact, no, this is the wrong one, I'm sorry. That was for Windows. Okay, we want to go to the one for Linux. Okay, so this is what you want to download. Okay, N64 Tools, GCC Toolchain. And you're going to look for a .deb file. So this is the one you want to download. And we need, for the Linux, we need the little green one. We need the green icon right here. We're also going to go to this link right here. This is, I think, the same thing, GCC Toolchain MIPS 64. Yeah, it seems to be the same thing. Okay, so I'm just going to download it anyway. I'm just going to scroll down, and I'm going to click Debian. Yeah, they both seem to be the same. And we're going to put those inside of our toolchain folder. Okay, so those are both the same thing. Let me check to see if there was something else that we needed to download. Okay, so these links both seem to be the same thing. So we're just going to download one. We're going to scroll down, and we're going to download the .deb file. And this is our tool chain. This is what we're going to need for compiling. So they're all pretty much the same. I'll just re-download it. Okay, that's in our downloads folder. So what we're going to do is I'm going to drag and drop that in our tool chain. And we're going to right click and we're going to extract here. There doesn't seem to be anything inside of it. So a lot of times that doesn't work. So we're going to have to use the terminal to extract this. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go and we're going to download libdragon, because we need libdragon to build our tiny 3D. Now for libdragon, it needs to be preview branch. Okay, it can't be the regular one, because when you download the regular one, it's going to be libdragon-trunk. You don't want trunk, you want preview. Okay, this is trunk right here. Okay, so you want to scroll all the way down, not all the way down, scroll down until you see the logo. Go to preview branch and you click on tree preview. And you see preview at the end of the link, or at the end of the whole website URL right there. That's the one you want to download. Okay, so we'll click code and we will click download zip. We're going to open this up, and that's our libdragon. We're going to extract here, and we're going to put this in our libdragon folder. So this is our preview branch. It has to be preview. If it's not preview, it's not going to work. Okay, so we'll drag and drop that there. And we're going to drag that in there just in case any files get corrupted or wind up missing. And we're going to delete that because we don't need that anymore. And last but not least, we're going to download Tiny 3D. And we're looking at our Tiny 3D folder right there. We're going to click code, download zip, and it's downloading. And we're going to extract it here. We're going to select all our files. We're going to drag and drop into our Tiny 3D folder. Okay, so we're going to go back. And we're going to drag and drop our Tiny 3D archive in there as well. Just in case we wind up losing files, or just in case any files get corrupted. So we're going to close this out. So now we should have everything set up. We got our libdragon set up. Okay, that's our libdragon, and we should have our Tiny 3 set up also. And we should have our tool chain folder set up also. Okay, so now what we need to do, we're going to start getting our hands dirty or getting busy with this terminal usage. Okay, you're going to be spending a lot of time in this little black window that you have right here. Okay, it's called the terminal. Okay, if you don't have this terminal, your environment is not getting built. Okay, this is what we need to build our files or build our projects into .z64 files so that they could run on the emulator, the Nintendo 64 emulator, or on the actual Nintendo 64 hardware. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to go into this toolchain folder right here, and we need to extract this. Okay, so we need to type, or we need to go into this path right here. So we're going to go ahead and copy this, and we are going to change directory, which is CD space, and we're going to paste that path. Okay, so when you do this, you're going to see these blue letters right here that let you know that you're looking in this path right here. Okay, we want to extract this into this directory right here. Okay, so that's going to have a command also. What you want to type is this. Okay, so that's a dpackage -deb space -x gcc toolchain. Okay, I'm gonna include all these commands in a text document so that you can download. Okay, you're gonna be able to download this text document and you'll be able to follow along and copy and paste. You're not gonna be typing up all these commands because eventually they're gonna get ridiculously long, and you're not gonna want to type all this stuff up. You're gonna want to just copy and paste. Okay, and you definitely want to use a little bit of AI, because some of these commands inside this text document is not going to work for you, because the name of my computer is inside these commands. So you're going to need to, copy and paste them inside AI like ChatGPT or Grok to convert it and change it so that it works on your computer. Okay, so this command is going to work for me because it says Jesus Christ. But your computer does not say Jesus Christ. Your computer might say David, or your computer might say Ahmad, or your computer might say Leslie or something like that. CD home Leslie, or CD home Elizabeth, or CD home Michael. Okay, so just use these commands to copy and paste them in the AI and stuff. You're definitely going to need AI. Okay, so this is the command that we're going to need, and this command right here is going to extract. It should extract that file right there. And it does actually a little bit, so it looks like it. Okay, there we go. So it extracted it a little bit. And they changed up the files a little bit. But it's not named this anymore, so that's why I'm getting that error. Okay, because before I used to download 2 links, but it seems like they changed them up, and I saved those links in my notes. So that's why that is not working anymore, but I'm going to leave it there anyway. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and run this command. Okay, so now that command extracted it a little bit more. Okay, extracted a lot more. Okay, so it lets you know that these commands are not the same. Okay, so we're going to try this one again. It's not going to extract really much everything. It's only going to extract a little bit. It's going to give you like 3 folders. You see? Okay, now we're going to use this one right here. It's going to give you a lot more folders. You see in here, it's going to be like more than 5 folders. Okay, so this is what you want. You want bin, etc., include, lib, and all these extra folders right here. Okay, this is your tool chain. This is what you need to build your .z64 files. Okay, you see you got the opt folder right there and everything. It says right here to do a little command in relation to cleaning up the opt folder, but you don't want to do that because opt seems to have some things inside of it that we're going to need. Okay, so we're going to skip that. Now what we're going to do, we're going to run a sudo apt update and a sudo apt upgrade. And this is pretty much going to update our operating system, make sure that all of the tools and all of the .h files are up to date, so that we can actually build the environment. Okay, and those are the final results. Now again, when your terminal is outputting some things, you can highlight all of this stuff. You can copy it. And you can paste it inside your AI, or I'm sorry, inside your little document that you have here. Okay, because all these terminal commands are pretty much record keeping for all the commands that have worked for you and all the commands that did not work. Okay, so you definitely want to consider highlighting, copying, and pasting the terminal output, as well as the conversation inside of your AI that you choose to use. Okay, you want to copy and paste as much text as possible from this whole procedure and save it inside a document. That's just for your record keeping if you want to do things that way, but I pretty much already done it, so you don't need to go through it and do it. So that if this document is ever scanned by Grok or ChatGPT or Find, it will be able to scan all all the text that you have inside this document, and it's going to know what to do. It's going to know what works and what doesn't work, and what command is going to work for you. Okay? So we're going to go back into Linux, and we're going to move on to the next command now. Okay, so this is what we're going to type next. We're going to paste that in there. And that's not working, because again, that's not the name of the tool chain. Okay, the name of the tool chain is N64 Tools. They changed the name of it, so it seems. Alright, so this is the next command we're going to run. With this command, it pretty much echoes and tells us which MIP64 ELF GCC toolchain compiler that we're going to be using. It's going to give you the information details on it. So we're going to paste that in there. And that's what it looks like. And it's saying opt lib dragon. And so we're going to do that next. This one doesn't really work. It shouldn't be working right now, but it'll probably work later. Alright, so now what we want to do, we want to go to our tool chain, and we want to go into opt folder. And in here should be a libdragon folder, but it doesn't seem it's there. Okay, so let's try our file system down here. And it's not there either. Okay, so it might be there later. So let's go back in our folder here, and we'll check there later. Now what we're going to do, we're going to set some paths. I'm going to paste that in there. Now our path is set. and we're going to verify it with this. Okay, so it's saying that in toolchain op libdragon it is there. Let's go and check again. Toolchain opt and libdragon. I'm not seeing it. Okay, so we'll just move on. And we're going to copy our headers. It's pretty much giving an error right now. So that one didn't work, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and copy this one now. Just for some reason the libdragon folder is not there. Okay, there we go. So this one is working. So it's pretty much building all the files that we need. And after this, that libdragon folder should be there. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it, and I will unpause it when this is done. Okay, so that is done. This was the command that we used. And this is everything that it built. Okay, so it built all this stuff for us. Okay, so now let's go and check to see if our actual libdragon folder is in there now, in the toolchain folder. Should be an opt, and it is there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and copy this in our N64 dev location. We're going to paste that. We're going to merge. And we're going to go ahead in our file systems. And we're going to check on this one. It's not there, but it was in our toolchains folder, so we did copy it here, like so. All right, so we're going to move on to the next command now. Now we're going to try and build Tiny3D itself. Okay, I mean, it says that we can't build any .z64 files yet, but let's give it a try. So we'll go into examples because we did build something, and we'll go into sprite anim, and we're going to grab this path right here. We're going to copy. We're going to CD into that space, CD space, and we're going to paste, and we should be able to make, it's saying that we're not able to, we cannot build any Z64 files yet, but let's give it a try. Okay, so we can't. We'll make clean. So let's build Tiny3D now. Okay, so that's the command for that. And we're going to paste it right here. And it's giving us an error. That's not working. So I'm going to copy and paste this one. This is pretty much setting our path. We're going to go down to the next one, and it should work now. Alright, so now it's building Tiny3D. Okay, it's giving us an error. So if an error runs, we're going to use this one. We're going to paste that. And we're going to build we're going to try another attempt at building Tiny 3D again. So that said command should have fixed everything up so that Tiny 3D can build successfully without any errors. Okay, and it did. Okay, so it's saying we can't build any Z64 files yet. So now let's go and build the tool chain. And we're going to paste that in here. So it's building the tool chain. This is going to take a while. I'm going to pause it and I will unpause it when this is finished. Okay, so it is done. And right here it does say libdragon built successfully. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and give this a try to see if it does show here that we do have the Z64 file available. But that really doesn't mean anything. Okay, it is there. We need to test this out in the emulator, and we also definitely need to check to make sure that we can clean and make the file again. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab this path, and in this terminal we're going to type make clean. No, I'm sorry. We're going to type CD space, and we're going to change to that directory. So now we're looking in that directory right there. What we want to do is we want to type make clean to clean it out. Okay, and this command right here is pretty much going to delete all the files that were created. It's going to delete the Z64 file also. Okay, so it's gone. And can we make it again? Yes, we can, because it shows up here, and it also shows up down here that a Z64 file was created. So our libdragon is working now. It's working on the Linux side. Okay, so let's do it again. Make clean and make. Okay, and it does do it again. Make clean, make. And it creates the Z64 file. Make clean and make. Because it cleans it out and it generates it again. Okay, that's exactly what we want. Okay, so we could create our examples for libdragon. Let's go ahead and try the brew volley. And we're going to CD our way into that. Paste. And we're going to make clean, and it's going to get rid of this Z64 file right there. It's going to get rid of it, and we want to make it. And it does make the file. Okay, we need to do this, so because we need to test to see if the make file in all these directories are working. Okay, so I'm not going to go ahead and test all of them. Just going to test the ones that I pretty much like and favor the most. And this is the last one that we're going to test right here. CD into this path. We're going to paste it. Make clean. And we will make. And can we generate a file in this one also? Can we generate the .z64 file? Yes, we can. Okay. So that works. That means that our libdragon is built, and we could generate our Z64 files for all of our examples in here. So you definitely want to go through this whole archive or the whole directory and CD your way into all these paths to make sure that you can do all of them. If you get any errors, definitely use AI. Again, make sure you stick that link into Grok or ChatGPT or Find or whichever AI you're using, and use AI to help you solve these issues. Okay, we're going to move on to building tiny 3D examples now. Okay, so this is where we left off. And it says when it's done, you should see LibDragon built successfully. And that's what we saw. And it's saying we could build tiny 3D. It says try to build a tiny 3D example, but we might get an error for that also. So, okay, so we'll go head on over to tiny 3D, and we're going to see if we could get an example built for that. We'll try quad. We'll copy the path for that. We'll CD our way into that path, and it shouldn't work. I know it's not going to work. Oh, okay, it does work. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so we built LibDragon, but Tiny 3D is working right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and try and build the other examples for Tiny 3D. Let's see if we run across any errors now. Okay, so we're going to copy this path, CD, paste, and we're going to make. Okay, so we get an error for this one right here. So we get an error for that one. And am I getting a no return attribute ignored? Okay, so since we're getting an error for that, we're going to go ahead and try this one right here. We'll paste that one in there. And we'll try make again. Let's see if that fixed it up. No, it did not. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so we're going to try this command right here. It should fix it up. No, it doesn't. Okay, it's okay. It's an error. As I mentioned before, we do come across errors, and these are pretty much the terminal commands to get these things fixed up. Okay, so we're going to try this one now. I'm going to paste that one. And this pretty much builds the importer, and this requires G++ and CMake. Okay, so it's building the importer for us. It's probably going to take a while, but see, we were able to build, as you could see, you saw the evidence that we were able to build at least one Tiny 3D example, but I'm getting an error for the second one, so we can't build in the second one. Okay, but we were able to build in LibDragon. So we could build in LibDragon, but we need to make sure that we could build all the examples for Tiny 3D. And of course, if you're going through the whole Tiny 3D archive, you're definitely going to come across errors and stuff. So I'm pretty much going to demonstrate how we can resolve and suppress those errors so that you could get all those examples built. Okay, so this is going to take a while. I'm going to pause the video and I will unpause it when it is done. Okay, so it is done building, and we've got a little green text right here saying GLTF to T3D. All right, so that's good news. Let's go ahead and CD our way into this path again. And let's see if we could get this built. Make clean. And we want to see if make works. Do we still get errors? Looks like it's going to work. Okay, that's good. So that works now for Tiny 3D. Let's see if we can get the other examples built. Let's go into lighting, and we want to copy this path also. CD, paste, make. Okay, and we can make that one also. So we want to go through this whole archive right here, and we want to get all the examples built. Okay, so we're going to go on lighting. Did we do lighting? Yes, we did. And we want to build objects now. CD space paste, make clean, and make. And it builds it up. Okay? Oh, perfect. We'll go to dynamic. CD space paste, make. Might come across some errors again. Oh, there we go. We got another error. Okay, so let's find out what exactly we need to do to suppress this error right here. And we're going to try this command right here. That should fix it and maybe suppress the errors. Okay, so that pretty much fixed it. Make clean and make. Okay, it gives us errors again. Okay, so if we want to build in 04 dynamic, we're going to need to use this to suppress the errors. We're going to paste that, and it's going to build it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's get split screen built up. CD space paste, make. Are we going to get an error for this one? Doesn't look like it. It builds that one. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, very good. All right, let's build the next sample. Will this one give us errors? No, it doesn't. It builds the Z64. Let's try it again. Make clean and make. Okay, so that's perfect. I'm going to move on to the next example. And we're definitely bound to come across errors for the much more complicated examples like Big Text 22 or something like that. But we'll get there. And when we get to those errors, I'll definitely show you how to resolve those errors. Okay, so this one works. Make it clean. And we will make and rebuild it again. Okay, there we go. Okay, make clean, make. Cleaned it out. Does it still work? Yes, it does. Okay, we'll move on to the next example. We're going to get all these built up. CD spaced, paste, make clean, and make. Okay, perfect. It works. Make works. Very good. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next sample. Flipbook text. We'll get this one built. Works. Okay, very good. Okay, so you see the Z64 file there, and we are able to build our tiny 3D examples. Will this one give us errors? Doesn't look like it. Okay, it works. Make clean. So you have to really like battle test these things, because 1 minute make might work and then the next minute make will not work. Okay, so you need to make sure you can test it multiple times and make sure it works. Make clean and make. Okay, so we are able to build that one now. UVgen cd space make paste make. Okay, and that's our Z64 file. Make clean and make. Okay, so it's going to clean it out. And it's going to generate it again. And it does work. Perfect. Okay, so let's move on to the next sample. CD space, paste, and we will make this one. Okay, there we go. Make clean and make. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we got that one. I'm not gonna do the make clean anymore. We're just gonna go and keep doing it until we get errors. I'm just gonna go through all the examples now. We're just gonna make them. Oh, okay, there's an error right there. Okay, so now we're getting an error for this one. All right, so let's see if this command works. Copy. See, if you get these errors, what you pretty much need to do is just maybe find a way to ignore it. So we're going to paste to see if this command will actually get 15-point light to work and to generate. See, it does work. Z64 dynamic. Okay, it's. Oh, okay, that was for dynamic. Okay, so let's go back to this one. And let's see if that actually resolved it. No, it did not. Okay, so this is a stubborn one right here. This is 15-point light. And what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to actually have to find the command for the 15-point light one. Okay, so we're going to have to use maybe like a brute force command. So I got some brute force command ones down here. Okay, this whole one right here. If you're still having issues and errors, tell AI to mix it with a brute force command. Okay, so we'll go ahead and copy this one and see if we can use this one to build number 15 up. Okay, so we're looking at 15-point light path. We're going to go ahead and paste that one, see if this one gets it built up. Nope, it doesn't work. All right, so let's try a different one. All right, that did work for number 15. Okay, so let's make clean, and let's check to see if make works for it now. It might give us errors. No, it doesn't work. Okay, so this one worked. You could use 19 for 15. Perfect, it works. All right, so we'll make clean. Let's see if we could use another one. Let's see if we could use the ultimatum command. This one right here. Definitely get these ones to build. Make clean. Let's paste it. This should definitely work for 15 also. No, it doesn't. Let's see if this one works. Alright, that one works. Okay, so a lot of times when you get these errors for some of these examples, you just need to use like a master key command or a brute force command. Again, I'll have these text documents uploaded to the internet so you can download them and use them for when you're ready to build your Nintendo 64 environment. Okay, so that works for 15. Make will not work for 15. But this will work for 15. Okay, you just need to ignore a couple of flags and we'll definitely get it built up. Alright, so we're going to go to light clip. We're going to use that one. CD, paste. Let's see if this one gives us errors. That does give us errors. Okay, so let's try to see if we could use one of these ultimatum commands right here and get it built. Nope, that doesn't work. Let's see if we could use a brute force command for 19. And it does work. Okay, so make alone doesn't work for 16 either. You will need to use a brute force command to get that one built. Okay, so let's see if another one works. Let's check to see if this one works. Make it clean. Let's get some errors going on. There's an error. Will this one work? No, it will not. Okay, so the brute force command for 19 will work. Okay, and this is the folder that we're looking in. We'll use that one to get it built. Perfect. CD into this path right here. And we will try to see if we get errors. We do get errors. Okay, which one are we going to use? Let's use 19 for this one to see if it gets it built up. It looks like it's going to work. This one seems like it's going to take a while. So I will pause it. Oh, okay, it's done. Okay, perfect. All right, so make clean. And let's make. Make is going to give us errors. Okay? But that brute force command for number 19, let's try a different one. Let's see if this one will work. No, that one won't work either. Okay, here's another master key. Okay, so you need like pretty much the master keys or the master key commands to get these to build correctly. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so there's another command that will work. Okay, so the brute force command for number 19 and another master key command will pretty much work. Okay, so there we go. There's our Z64 file. It's all about ignoring errors and ignoring C flags and everything to get these things built. Okay, that's our file. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next one. And let's see if make will give us an error. Yes, it does. Which one are we going to use? Let's use a master key. This one right here. And that's what gets it built up. Okay, as you can see the file right there. 18 particles is right there. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. CD. And we'll type make. See if this one gives us errors. Probably will. Okay, make will not work for that. Okay, so we're going to use a master key for brute force command. There you go. Make clean. Make will not work. Okay, it doesn't work because it's giving us errors. So we'll make clean and make with this special command right here. Okay, there you go. You got the Z64 file. Okay, so we'll go into MIP maps and we will build this one up. Will this one give us errors? It looks like it. Okay, so we're going to use this master key right here. You got a lot of master key commands and brute force commands that you can use. We're going to make clean and we're going to paste this command after that. Oh, that's not it. This is it. Make clean and we will paste that command and it should build it up. There we go. .z64. Okay, so this is pretty much what you need to do to get the tiny 3D examples built. You gotta have special commands to actually get 100%. Special commands. Make, that gives us errors. So we're going to use this one. Make clean, and we're going to paste that special command. It's going to clean it out and it's going to build it. Okay, there we go. There's a Z64 file and you see it appears right there. It's going to clean it out. It's going to build it again. There we go. So big text is a very stubborn one, and it's going to take a very long time to build this one. But this one most likely is going to give me an error if you just use make alone. It's most likely going to give me an error. Yep, it's going to give me an error. Okay, so we will use the master key, or there was a command that was used specifically for big text 22, which is the one we're looking at right now. Let's check to see if this one works. Okay, so we're going to make clean. Make doesn't work. Okay, so we will use this command. Okay, which is this one right here that we copied. And this one should work. It's not working. Okay, so let's try a different one. I'm gonna paste this one. Does this one work? No, it doesn't. Okay, there's a special command for Big Text 22. Let me go and find it. This might work. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have to use the alternative. Okay, looks like it's going to work. Okay, it looks like it's going to work. Now, Big Text 22 takes a while to build. So you might need to use this command for Big Text 22. There is another one that was able to fix it up. Let me find that for you. This brute force command right here. So after this finishes building, oh, there we go. Okay, no, this built 24 HD HDR. Okay, we already did that one. I think we didn't do that one. Okay, so we want to build 22. CD space, and we'll paste. Make is not working for this one. Okay, that probably fixed it up. Okay, no it didn't. Alright, let's try this one for Big Text 22. See, this one right here is a brute force command for that specific example. So I pretty much got all this figured out. So this is probably going to take a while to build up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause it and I will unpause it when it's done. Okay, perfect. So Big Text 22 is built into a .z64 file. As you can see, the file is there. I'm not going to make clean this one again because it's going to take a while to build it up again. So that lets you know that it is there. And if you do get an error for that one, this is the one that you want to use. Okay, this command is not going to work on your computer because, again, your computer is not named Jesus Christ. But just go ahead and copy and paste this into your AI of choice, and it will convert it into the version that is compatible, or the version that's going to work on your terminal and on your computer. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on, and we're going to do HDR now. CD space paste. We're going to make. Does it give us an error? Yes, it does. Okay, so let's go ahead and find a master key for this one. Number 19 work? Nope, it doesn't. Okay, so let's try a different one. Let's try this one right here. Okay, that also gives us errors. Okay, so here's another master key. Let's try this one. Does this work? Looks like it. Yes, it does. Okay, there's a file right there. Okay, so we make clean, and we're going to paste that command again. It's going to clean it out and generate it again. Very good. All right, let's move on to the next one. We're pretty much almost done. And we're going to CD into this path right here. We're going to paste, and we're going to make. It might give us some errors. Oh, it's already there. Make. And it doesn't look like it's giving us any errors. So it seems like this one is going to work as well. It seems like it's going to take a while, so I will pause it. And I will unpause it when it's done. Oh, it's done. Okay, so there's a Z64 file for that one. I won't make clean that one. And this is the last one right here. CD space, and we will paste the path, and we will make. And there we go. Make clean and make. Okay, so there we go. We have all of our files generated for Tiny3D. You should definitely be able to go into your LibDragon samples examples folder, and you should be able to do the same thing for these ones as well. Okay, so again, if you come across any errors, definitely want to try like the master keys or the brute force commands and check to see if you can get them all generated up and everything. Okay, so that's pretty much how you generate all the files for Tiny3D and LibDragon on the Linux side. Okay, so we're going to head on over to the Windows side now, and we're going to, I'm going to show you how to set all this stuff up for the Windows side. Okay, so now for Windows, you're going to need msys installed. And when you get msys installed, you want to install it to the default location. So that's msys right here. It's going to be installed on your C, and this is the path that it should install to. And you want to look for UCRT shortcut. Okay, and it's going to be this like dark brownish golden mustardish looking color icon. UCRT64. As you can see, the N64 and this 64, UCRT64, both have 64. So you definitely want to make sure this is the correct icon to use. Okay, and you want to paste that inside your N64 development. Okay, let's get this all set up for Windows now. Okay, so this is the icon that you want to use. That icon right there. Okay, and what we're going to do now, we're going to go on our C drive and we want to create a new folder, and we're going to pretty much set it up the same way we had it up on Linux. N64_dev, and we're going to create 4 folders like so. LibDragon, Tiny3D. We're not going to build Tiny3D on Windows because I already tried it. It doesn't work on Windows. Tiny3D only can build on Linux or Linux environments. Okay. Toolchain and Z64 files. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to go and we're going to download the Windows versions that we need. Okay, and we get those from here. Okay, so we're going to need this one, and we're going to need this one. Okay, so N64 and 7-Dog. we're going to download this one. This is 7dog. You scroll down to the bottom and you download Windows 64. And we're going to go to N64 Tools right here. And we're going to download this one right here. And this is all for our tool chain. And they both seem to be the same. We're just going to drag and drop them in there. Okay. So that one is extracted. We're just going to drag and drop that one in there. I think they're both the same. Seems like it. They both seem to be the same. Yep. It seems like they're both the same. So we'll go ahead and close that. And it's not going to hurt if we just keep both of them. Alright, now we're not going to download Tiny3D for Windows because Tiny3D does not build on Windows, it only builds on Linux. But we're going to definitely download LibDragon for Windows, and I'm going to show you how to build it on Windows also. Okay, so there's a link for LibDragon. Let's go to that. And of course, this is where you go to download it. We're going to download zip. And again, you want to make sure it's preview branch. Okay, so you want to go to Dragon Minded, LibDragon, and you'll scroll down. You want to click preview branch. Preview branch. And if it doesn't say preview up here at the end, that's not the correct one. You're going to be downloading trunk, not preview. You need preview. Okay, so it's downloaded. Let's go ahead and get it and extract it like so. We're going to grab all these files, drag and drop in there. And it's done. So we're going to go ahead and grab that archive. We're going to put that in there just in case any files get corrupted. And let's close this out. Okay, so we got our toolchain folder set up. We got our LibDragon folder set up. This is where we're going to put all our Z64 files and stuff like that. Okay, I've already got these files built, but I'm pretty much just showing you how to make sure that your environment is set up so that they do build these files correct, so that the files do build correctly. Okay, so what do we need now? We need, let's go grab our Ares shortcut. Because remember I told you to download Ares, so you should have that. And let's download, or let's get our MSys UCRT64 shortcut. We'll put that in there as well. So now what we want to do, let's see what terminal commands we're going to need to use. Okay, so first thing what we need to do, let's go ahead and open our terminal up, UCRT64. This is your MSys terminal. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to type pacman-syu. It's going to update the packages. It's going to prompt you for a yes or a no. You just go ahead and press Y, and press enter. Okay, so we're done with that. And now what we want to do, we want to type pacman -s base devel git make. It's going to prompt you for yes or no. You press Y and press enter. And this might take a while, so I'm going to pause it and I will unpause it when, oh, okay, it's done. Okay, so next we want to type pacman -s min-gw -w64, hopefully I don't get this wrong, -ucrt -x86_64 -gcc make unzip. And hopefully that's typed correctly. It looks like it. Let's go ahead and run that one, and we will press Y and press enter. So this is installing a native compiler. I will pause it and I will unpause it when it's done. Okay, so it is done, and that's pretty much everything that it did. It didn't really do much. Okay, it won't start doing much until we actually start building the library for libdragon. Okay, so now what we want to do, we want to type mips -64-elf -gcc -version. Okay, that's a command not found. Okay, that's not working right now. Let's go ahead and cd into our path, our N64dev libdragon path, which is right here. Okay, so we're going to type cd space -c N64_dev libdragon. Now we're looking into this path right here. So what we want to do, we're just going to go ahead and copy and paste this now. It's pretty much resets your path. And we're going to do this just in case. Alright? We're going to make install. It's pretty much going to build the libdragon library in the libdragon archive for us right there. Okay, that might take a while, so I'm going to pause it and I will unpause it when it's done. Okay, so the build is complete. So now what we're going to do, we are looking in our libdragon folder. We're going to use this now. We're going to reset our paths just in case. Oh, we already did that. Okay, so let's set it again. Let's go back to the tools directory, and we want to build and install the tools. So this is going to take a while. I will pause it and unpause it when it's done. Okay, so it is done, and it looks like our libdragon is built, so we should be able to, at this point, be able to build our libdragon examples. Let's go and give it a try on Windows. We're going to try the sprite anim. We're going to CD our way into that. We're going to paste. We got to clean it up because this is not Linux, this is Windows. Okay, so we'll do a -C, and we'll replace the dashes with the opposite dash. And now we're looking into that folder. We want to do a make, and we should be able to build it. And there it is. Okay, so we got the sprite anim, and let's go ahead and try another one. Let's try a test. We'll go ahead and CD into this path right here. We're going to paste the path. We'll clean it up. -C. Replace this dash with the other dash. and we will make this one as well. We should get a Z64 file, and we do. Okay, so you want to go through this whole archive right here, check to see if you can get them all made. I'm not going to do it. I have all these files and all these examples pre-made. I have them all pre-made, and they're all located right here in this folder for me. So I'm pretty much going to go through and demonstrate what these examples look like inside of our little emulator right here that we have called Aries, which is what I told you to download. And I'm going to just show you all what these examples look like. Okay, if you've made it this far and you successfully built all your Z64 files up, you should be able to do the same. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're going to do all the T3D ones. Let me go ahead and expand this window right here. And this is the sprite anim right here. And that's pretty much what it looks like. I've got my little Xbox 360 controller plugged in. You go up here to settings and you go to input, and you can set up your little controls right here. Go on Nintendo 64 right there, and you just double click on it and you set your controls up the way you want it. What I could do, I could just press the buttons and it's going to make the buttons interact, or trigger the animation stuff right here. I'm pressing the B, but my X button on my Xbox controller, and it does the animation for the right guy. And I'm pressing the A button on my Xbox controller, and that controls the guy on the left side. Okay, so we're going to close that up. That's what that example looks like. And if you make sure that you don't save your Aries inside a location where it does not give you the permission to write to that Aries folder, because then every time you close your Aries and you reopen it up, it's gonna need to you're gonna need to reset your controls again. Okay, so make sure maybe you save your Aries inside your Project 64 folder somewhere, or save it somewhere in your hard drive where you can actually write. Maybe you could save it in here or something like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the other examples. This tutorial is going on to be 1 hour and 33 minutes. So this is what the controller test looks like. Okay, nothing fancy, just a bunch of text. There's a test one. This is what the tests look like. Okay, and that's what test looks like. Okay, so the T3D ones are really cool. Okay, so that's what quad looks like. Just a rotating quad. This is what model is. There's pretty much no input for this one. This is light. Pretty nice looking example right there. Objects. A donut and a bunch of boxes flying around. This is dynamic. We got split screen. Okay, and I can control this with the with my little joystick right here. I'm going over here to one of these diamonds right here, and you can see in the other window that I'm the red one. Okay, so this is a split screen example. It's pretty cool. And this is a off-screen example. You got joystick input right here. You press the A button, it toggles the cube. little chicken there. And the C buttons. You got input. I don't really know how to use this one. Okay, the trigger button's pretty much rotated. You've got joystick input here. The A and the B button gives it an animation or an attack animation. You can use the C buttons for changing up the animation. T pose right there going on, and your L and your R buttons change the model. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Alright, this is flipbook. You're going to do segments. You got a little bumblebee looking thing right here. Doesn't look like there's any input for this. Okay. And your L and your R button pretty much changes the mesh. And you got joystick input. Your C buttons also change the mesh. Your D-pad changes the mesh. So we're going to go on cell shading and check this example out. It's pretty nice. Again, seems to be the same controls. Changes the mesh up. Okay, and your C-stick changes the width of the glow. And the stick pretty much changes the color of it. Okay, so you got input on that one. Okay, so you got input on this one as well. Okay, so you got input on this one. Use the C buttons or the C stick. This one gets a lot of low frames per second, but this is also an example. Okay, so you get better frames per second when you look in this direction, but when you start to look over here, frames per second tends to drop. It looks like you got a little Minecraft world going on here. Okay, so this one gives you input also. This one also gives you input. This is particles text. Okay. So L and R buttons changes the mesh on that one. This is big text 22. Okay, this one doesn't seem to work. Might just need to rebuild it. Alright, and that's pretty much it for the Tiny 3D examples. And for also how you can build on the Windows operating system. Now again, Tiny 3D only builds on Linux. It does not build on Windows. I tried it. But if you have a Windows, if you're a Windows user, it's best for you to use WSL. Try to do some research on that. Try to do a YouTube tutorial on how to install or get WSL to work on Windows 10 or Windows 11. Or you could use VirtualBox. So I pretty much showed you all those links, and I pretty much showed you how to build everything and to get everything working 100%. Okay, I'm going to upload all these documents to the internet and include a link so you'll be able to download all the text and all the commands so that you could build these examples yourself and get your environment built up so that you can make Nintendo 64 games or Nintendo 64 ROMs. Okay, so that was it. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned everything you need to learn. This is Jesus Christ, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.